to survey the field. I wonder just how far I'll get without a deal. Cause anything I say is real, and any line I spit is facts, and any dream I have is valid, so I'm never going back. Shit. Listen to that voice inside. That is where the choice resides. You write the future, you know where it lies. I perceive judgment as anger's disguise. Taking a risk will always yield a prize. People will tell us to follow our heart and then look at us crazy when we live our lives. My mom, this one's for dad. All the supporters that I ever had. It's for the principal of my high school who said I would be nothing. Well, look where I'm at. Won't stop till I ain't got to look at the text. Till we go out to eat and I pick up the tab. Took a leap on my dream, now it's all I can see. I'm enjoying the scene and I'm not looking back.
As hard as I can, eating halal, driving a lamb. So that bitch, I'm sorry though. Got my coins like Mario. Yeah, they call me Cardi B. I run this shit like cardio. Diamond District in the chain. Certified, you know I'm gang, 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 gang. Drop the top and blow the brand. Oh, he's so handsome, what's his name? I need the dollars to just beat it up like piñata.
Chambean pero no jalan. Tú compras todas las Jordan, a mí me las regalan. I spend in the club, what you have in the bank. This is the new religion bank, el latino gang, gang, yeah. Está toda servieta, pero es que en el closet tengo mucha grasa. Ya mudé la cuchipa dentro de casa, yeah. A ti no te conocen ni en plaza. El diablo me llama pero Jesucristo me abraza. Guerrero como Eddie, que viva la raza, yeah. Me gustan boricuas, me gustan cubanas. Me gusta el acento de la colombiana. Como me ve el culo la dominicana. Lo rico que me chinga la venezolana. Andamos activos, perico, pim, pim. Billetes de 100 en el maletín. Que retumbe el bajo y Valentín, yeah. Aquí prohibido mal, dile charitín. Que per pico le tengo claritín. Yo llego a la disco y se forma el motín.
Diamond District in the chain. Certified, you know I'm gang, 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 gang. Drop the top and blow the brand. Oh, he's so handsome, what's his name? I need the dollars to just beat it up like piñata. Tell the job to close the curtains. Bad chick make you nervous.
Como Celia Cruz tengo el azúcar. Tú que va medio y se fue de pecho como Ginny Luca. Te vamos a tumbar la peluca y arranca pa'l carajo, que a ti no te va a pasar la boca. Mi tenis Valenciaga me reciben en la entrada. Para, sí, like I'm Lady Gaga. Y no te me hagas, que en cover de Billboard tú has visto mi cara. No salgo de tu mente, donde quiera que viajes, he escuchado mi gente. Ya no soy high, soy como el testa rosa. Soy el que se la vive y también el que la goza. Goza, es la cosa, mami es la cosa. El que mira sufre y el que toca goza. I said I like it like that.
I said I like it like that.
I said I like it like that.
I said I like it like that. Diamond district in the chain. Certified, you know I'm gang. Drop the top and blow the brand. Oh, he's so handsome, what's his name? Yeah.
Welcome, everyone. I think we're just about to get started.
Welcome to a 25th Homecoming Powerful Voices Annual Luncheon. My name is Kisan. I go by she, her, and I'll be one of your co-MCs this event. My name is Kisan Ash. I am 17 years old, and I'm a junior at Franklin High School. I feel as if my purpose in life is to help others and be a voice for people who don't have one. My mom is one of my biggest supporters, and even if she doesn't agree with it. She taught me everything I know, and she's not only my mom, but my best friend as well. During the summer of 2019, I would go to these boxing sessions with my girlfriend who attended one of the Powerful Voices programs, and they let me join even though I was older than the qualifying age. Ever since then, Powerful Voices has been like home to me. All the women at Powerful Voices are the most amazing and wonderful people I've ever met, and they really treat you as if you're family. I am so excited to co-host this event with my co-MC, Sefriana.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for being here. I'm Sefriana. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a former board member, adult ally, and AmeriCorps staff member. I first came to Powerful Voices in 2006 as a volunteer. I think I was about 20 years old at the time. I started by facilitating girls groups at Washington Middle School. This was a formative experience for me that encouraged me to step into my own power as a young woman of color and to find and express my voice. Since my days as a volunteer and staff member at Powerful Voices, I've worked on campaigns for Pramila Jayapal and Elizabeth Warren, two brilliant political leaders. I've worked on local policy and founded a political consulting firm. It's really become my life's work to increase representation for Black and Brown folks, especially women, in elected office, and to advocate for community presence where policy decisions are being made. Powerful Voices was instrumental in my growth as a young woman, and I am so excited to co-MC with Kisan for our 25th annual anniversary luncheon.
Before we begin the program, we like to start with land acknowledgement. Powerful Voices is on the stolen land of the Duwamish people, both past and present. We honor the land and its stewards, and we are committed to building with Indigenous communities and being comrades in the fight against oppression. You can learn more and support the Duwamish tribe at www.realrentsduwamish.org, which is a way for folks who live on the Duwamish land to begin to justly compensate the Duwamish tribe. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that, Kisan. And thank you all so much for coming to this event. Our program is jam-packed with speeches, performances, and wisdom from the Powerful Voices community, all centered around our theme of homecoming. This luncheon is happening on the heels of a transformative time for the organization, all while in the swarm of a global pandemic and a national uprising. So this luncheon is all about coming home to ourselves and recommitting as a community to centering the power of young Black and Brown girls in Seattle. We have an amazing new executive director. We're on the verge of relaunching a new program model, and we just moved to Beacon Hill after 20 years in the Central District. It's a lot of change, and yet it feels like we're just coming home.
I'm so excited to hear more about homecoming from all of our performers and speakers. Let's kick off the program with Moni Tep. Moni is a singer, artist, and community leader based in Seattle. She was a member of a Powerful Voices program staff in 2011. We are so excited for her homecoming to this luncheon this year. Moni is also the Public Programs and Community Engagement Coordinator at Northwest African American Museum and staple of the Seattle performing scene. You can learn more and support her work at justmoni.bandcamp.com.
Are you going? Hi, Powerful Voices. I'm Just Moni. This is Generational Wealth. Thank you for having us tonight. We hope that you've been having a lot of fun. I'm going to sing for y'all. Here we go. What are you trying to do with me? All of your times spoken for already.
Wow, let's all take a moment to unmute and give a round of applause for Moni. That was amazing. Thank you. I love feeling the energy, the virtual energy. It's real. That was such an amazing way to start the program. And I'm so grateful that we got to hear from such an amazing artist who has been a part of Powerful Voices for nearly a decade. And next up, it's my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Morgan Dawson. Morgan is an organizer of people, a curator of resources, a lover of details, and a writer of poems. Growing up in California and Texas, everything she does has a sense of Southern charm and California calm. She has the privilege of being on the board of Powerful Voices. Morgan currently works in strategic partnerships and philanthropy. She was once told, if you could be anything other than a writer, do that. She has since been doing all of those things, and sometimes when the weather's right, writing poems. Let's give it up for Morgan.
Hi, y'all. You had to unmute yourselves. I think when I was thinking of home, it was kind of hard to come by. I took about a month to write this, and it just came to me at 5:30 this morning. It's hard to think of what is home in what I've been calling a double apocalypse. So you can think of home as the thing you run away from, the thing you run to. Home can be the thing you build. It's hard not to think of a house when you think of a home. It's hard not to think of the three little pigs and the big bad wolf coming and blowing and huffing and puffing and blowing away your house. So today I thought that I would welcome you into the Powerful Voices home. I thought that I would take some time and tell you the house rules. Every house has rules. And today I'm going to talk to you about 3 of ours and one I just made up this morning. So first, here at Powerful Voices, we celebrate everything. Big, small, the end of a program, the end of a relationship with an employee, the new Beyonce album. One of my favorite things to do at Powerful Voices is to pack up the luncheon and drive it all back to the office where we unpack, as in just throw everything in the conference room and count money and take turns playing DJ. Sometimes celebration is celebrating something a great board member like Ratasha has dropped off to the office, one of her amazing cakes, or the time I try and match her amazing cakes with Top Pot donuts. It is definitely not the same, but they're all great things to celebrate. Secondly, I would say, or my mom would say, Powerful Voices is an open door house. Now, when I was younger, that meant I literally couldn't close my door. I guess it kind of means the same thing at Powerful Voices. It means that youth often show up 20 minutes early or stay 20 minutes late waiting for a parent. That can often look like a young person accidentally making the theme of the luncheon, which actually happened, or a young person walking into a meeting that just happens to be a site visit and blowing the foundation away. A young person actually secured us one of our grants for staying over a little bit too long. I want to get back to that one, but we're going to skip ahead a little bit. I would say being half Southern, as I identify, I've often heard, as for me and my house, so as for Powerful Voices, here we center young girls of color. And sometimes on days like today, that feels obvious. But 3 years ago when we changed our mission, it wasn't. We had board members who left who thought it was too divisive, too political. We had community members saying, are you sure the foundations are going to understand what you're doing? Are you sure they're going to fund you anyway? I remember being in the first meeting at the time I was board chair, and we were talking to a foundation and they said, what was my hope for our new mission? And I said, I hope to live in a world where Black and brown girls aren't trendy, when we're not just a fad. I don't feel like I've done a very good job. It feels like we're more trendy and we're more of a fad. Living in places like Seattle, where you see Black Lives Matter signs everywhere, on t-shirts, on yards, on cars, I often wonder, what does it mean to matter, to exist, to be? That brings me to the fourth rule, the one I made up this morning at 5:30. At Powerful Voices, you come back. You don't just support us, you sustain us. You're not just here when you're trying to absolve your guilt, when it is trendy. I hope your donation becomes a monthly one because we need you. We are working within a deficit, and I don't want to teach young girls that we need to move from scarcity. And I need your abundance. I need you to come back. I need you not to care just about George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery. I need you to care about Breonna Taylor and Nina Pop and Tony McDad and Charlena Lyles. I need you to stay a little longer. I need you to sign up for our newsletter and read it. I need you to share our voices because sometimes people don't listen to fat Black queer girls like me. So I need you to keep coming back. I need you to tell your friends about our open door policy and our celebration because it's still trendy to care about Black girls because everyone cared in May and no one answered the phone in September. Because we had all of these people say, hey, I see you, I hear you. Because all of a sudden in May, everyone wanted to say, how are you, Morgan? And last week, only 2 people asked. Last week, only 1 person answered my phone call. So these are our rules. We hope you'll stay a little longer. We hope you'll show up for us, not to support us, but to sustain us. I hope next year we won't be trendy or a fad. It'll be the norm and not an add-on to a mission statement. I hope someone else will realize they don't need to build something new. They just need to look at what's already there, what's been there for 25 years, what has worked so hard to be so rooted in community, we forgot to think about ourselves sometimes. So here we are. And you're gonna hear about all the ways Powerful Voices is home for so many people. And we can be a home for you too, just not only when you're feeling guilty. Thank you.
Let's take a moment and unmute and give her a round of applause.
Morgan!
Morgan. That's Morgan.
Guys, that was amazing. Oh my God. I was trying so hard not to cry, but it got to me and that was amazing. Morgan, thank you so much. Without further ado, I am excited to introduce our next performer, Wendy. Wendy is 14 and is a participant at Powerful Voices. She loves spicy food, drawing, and taking care of animals. And before I get onto that, let me just say, I know how much Wendy loves animals because one time in program, she brought her guinea pig, I want to say, and like the look in her face was just amazing. Her face was so lit up. Like it was just, I don't think I've ever seen someone so excited about an animal. And it was amazing to me. She has a pet guinea pig, a kitty, and is a middle child of 2 brothers. She also has a best friend named Rasha, who she's been friends with for years. Wendy said, every time I would enter the Powerful Voices office, I felt safe and cared for. They felt like family, and it was like home. If I was sad, they would always be there to talk to and make me feel happy. We are so excited to have Wendy as a part of the luncheon this year. Let's play the video.
My name is Wendy Ramirez. I'm 14 years old and my pronouns are she, her. I started drawing like when I was around 5. I was in preschool and I started like drawing stuff. I would usually draw like animals and then I also painted too. And then I got in elementary school and that's when I started to draw more because like the school had colors and all that. And then when I got to Denny, that's when I met Powerful Voices. And then that's what got me to draw Woman of Color. This drawing, I used girl power like words because I think girl power is actually like really powerful. And I drew a Chinese girl because one of my friends is Chinese and I heard her call herself ugly. And I was like, you're not ugly, like you're very beautiful. And I decided to draw this for her and I sent it to her and she was so happy and it made me happy too. And then I drew the rainbow because LGBTQ and I support that. And in some cultures they don't support it. And I was like, put it up there for people can see that even if you're like in a different culture where they don't accept LGBTQ, it's important. This one, I was like going through like pictures to get like ideas of what to draw. And then I saw this lady where she had like different colors on her skin and I thought it was really pretty. So I decided to draw like how she had her skin color and I wrote beautiful because she was beautiful. This one right here, it reminds me of my culture and I drew the Mexico flag because that's where my parents are from. And the dress because that's a traditional dress, like we wear it to like parties or stuff, holidays sometimes. This is my favorite one. I drew her with hoops and all of that. It kind of reminds me like of the 90s, how they had their hair and like their makeup. And I drew LGBTQ and I drew her a crown because she's a queen and girl power. And this is one of my favorite drawings. I think it's important to draw women of color because not many people notice them and like not many people draw them, and I think it's really important for people to like notice them and they're actually really beautiful and important and they're really powerful. What makes Powerful Voices feel like home to me is that they're always there for me, like everybody that was working there, and also they're like really helpful and they like help me go through stuff. And they were the people that got me to like doing all of this, drawing Powerful Woman.
Awesome. Let's all unmute and give a big round of applause for Wendy.
Yes,
Wendy.
Go, Wendy. Yes, Wendy.
That was amazing, Wendy. It's so beautiful to see art that's focused on women of color. I'm so grateful that you shared your presence and your art with us. So we're really excited for our next presenters, the members of the Powerful Voices program team, Asha and Taylor. I'll introduce both of them. So Asha is a Somali American who grew up in Michigan. She moved to the Seattle area to complete her MSW degree at the University of Washington. Asha was involved with the Somali Family Safety Task Force and the Social Justice Fund through her program. She was also a former practicum student at Powerful Voices. Her experiences at Powerful Voices propelled her to join the team and garner new opportunities to support young girls of color. Asha is passionate about youth immigrant development and enrichment. Outside of work, Asha spends her time exploring Washington through hiking, watching Korean dramas, and researching all things global. Taylor is a Black mixed woman who's been involved in the Seattle nonprofit field for the last 4 years. Passionate about working with youth of color, Taylor started with Powerful Voices as an adult ally volunteer in 2017 and hasn't been able to stay away since. I completely understand. Outside of work, Taylor spends her time embroidering, baking sweet treats, and rewatching Sister Sister. Take it away, Asha and Taylor.
Hi, everyone. My name is Asha Abdullahi, and my pronouns are she and her.
Hi. Nice to see y'all. My name is Taylor, and my pronouns are also she, her.
And we're program specialists here at Powerful Voices. I first came to Powerful Voices as an MSW practicum student, It was a very exciting time as I formed a great bond with the staff and got well acquainted with the work culture. The supportive community at Powerful Voices made me feel at home, and it also inspired me to come back as a staff member. Now, as a program specialist, I'm able to be more fully invested in the organization and also increase my capacity to take on larger roles and responsibilities. I still admire the honest investment that the team has shown towards me since my time here, as well as the priority on showing up as my most authentic self. This continues to encourage my own commitments to better offer opportunities and support to young girls of color.
So for me, PV has felt like home from the very beginning. I started with PV 3 years ago as a volunteer, where I worked with young activistas as they prepared for GoVolution. It was a really comforting space to be a part of, and it was just so beautiful and uplifting to see young Black and Brown girls getting to be their authentic selves. Since then, my sense of home at PV has only deepened as I get to work closely with amazing, resilient, and fierce women and non-binary folks of color who make me feel both safe and inspired. So over the past 25 years, we've changed in numerous ways, from the populations we serve to the events that we're known for, like GoVolution or Revolutionary Self-Care Day. But across all that time, at our core of our work remains 3 pillars: that girls of color are able to take space, take power, and take action. And now as an organization, we are shifting our focus to emphasize these pillars even more with our upcoming program offerings.
So one of our pillars is taking space. We've done this in the past by hosting Girl Evolution, a youth-led social justice conference where young folks in our Activistas program would work alongside an adult ally for 12 weeks to create a social justice workshop on an issue that they are passionate about. Building on this foundation, young people taking space in our programs will start to look like the Black Musmilla Collective, or BMC, which will be a cohort-style program that is centered around the Black Muslim girls' experience. Black Muslim girls will be able to authentically be themselves and share a space that holds their intersecting identities. BMC will consist of group-facilitated discussions, supporting community members through outreach and volunteerism, as well as spiritual retreats, trips, and mentorship activities. Another one of our pillars is taking power. We've done this in the past in our middle school girls group called Powerful Choices, where young folks would explore topics like healthy relationships and identity, and work together on an art project to present at an end of program celebration.
So building on this as a foundation, young people taking power in our programs will now start to look like them being able to create, form, respond to, and be responsible for their own narratives through an all youth of color media platform called PV Radio. So initially this will take place in the form of a podcast show where young folks will act as the engineers, editors, producers, and co-hosts. And lastly, a pillar that we have remained true to, or we're building off of more, is taking action. This is something that we've always hoped to inspire the young folks that we work with, that they'll be able to take the things that they learned at PV and go on to act against the injustices that they see in their own world and communities. So this hasn't been directed in our programs until now. Soon this will take the form as the Student Action Fund, where young people will be able to apply for funds to assist them in their community organizing efforts. So in addition to this financial assistance, this cohort style program will focus on supporting young folks through mentorships, skill sharing, and social justice education.
We couldn't have gotten to this place without the other stepping stones. We're evolving and becoming more responsive to the needs of our community. We're super excited to launch these programs. This is what your funding and support will help us create. Thanks so much for having us. And now it's back to the MCs.
Guys, I don't know about you, but I can't wait for these programs, okay? I'm excited. I just wanted to remind you guys to support Powerful Voices so that we are able to connect to have these programs. Check the link in the chat for how you can donate and support the luncheon today. Next, I'm going to introduce Aisha. Aisha is a mixed Black Muslim woman who grew up in a large family who inspired her to get involved in the community building and social justice. She has been involved with many organizations based in Seattle, but she is most excited about her current role at Powerful Voices as a donor relations manager, where she is able to channel her passion for racial justice, equity, and community healing.
Thank you so much, Kisan. Good morning, everyone. I'm so excited to see so many people here today. My name is Aisha Alamin. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the Donor Relations Manager here at Powerful Voices, which means I had the huge honor of being one of the leads for this event. And it has been such a humongous pleasure, and I'm just so excited that it culminated in such a really, really powerful event for all of us. So it is my honor to introduce Chimera, but before I welcome them to the virtual stage, I just want to take a moment to say thank you to everyone who has supported the luncheon so far. We're just over 35K, which is so exciting. I'm just really blown away by the amount of support and love we've been getting from everyone. And I just want to encourage y'all to keep that going, even if you don't have the means to donate at this moment, to please share with your networks, because I'm sure someone that you know would be able to give some kind of support. And like Morgan was sharing earlier, we really need these funds to sustain this work so that we can fund these amazing programs that Asha and Taylor were telling us about. So I just wanted to say thank you to you all. And it's just really important that we center the experiences and the power of young Black and Brown people, particularly young Black and Brown girls. And if there's one person I know who goes above and beyond in centering the power of young people and their communities, it's Chimera. So Chimera grew up a shy, introspective dreamer in 90s Hilltop neighborhood in Tacoma. Shortly after receiving a rare opportunity to attend a liberal arts high school in Seattle, they got involved with Seattle Young People's Project as a youth organizer, leading workshops on anti-racism and liberation frameworks throughout Seattle public schools, while working to mobilize students and adult allies to address institutionalized racism in school curriculums and discipline practices. Since then, they've worked in youth advocacy, developing intersectional, strength-based programs, and consulted with organizations on racial equity, youth suicide prevention, trauma-informed practice, radical storytelling, healing justice, and creative facilitation, just to name a few. They are most fulfilled when they are listening to people's stories, making films and food with friends, reading up on astrology, and bearing witness to inspiring Black, Brown, and Indigenous young folks rising up against the oppressive systems that are no match for their innate genius. When I think of what a leader is, I think of someone who is creative, compassionate, and innovative. And I don't know anyone who has more of these characteristics than Chimera. They are just such a fantastic person to work with. And I feel just deeply honored that I have that opportunity. And I was telling someone recently, I'm not really into astrology, but a lot of the PV staff is. And I was talking with someone about it recently, and I was like, Chimera is my sun, moon, and rising. Like, I just love being able to bear witness to their power and to have the opportunity to work with them at Powerful Voices. So without further ado, please welcome Powerful Voices' new executive director, Chimera.
Oh, wow. I don't even know how I can speak after all that. Thank you, Aisha. That was just so sweet. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here on a Saturday with all of us. Again, my name is Chimera, Executive Director, Powerful Voices for 48 days now. And also I'm a returning staff member for my role as Middle School Instructional Coordinator of Powerful Choices back in 2011. So what I'm here to tell you is Powerful Voices feels like home to me because I don't know any other place like it. I don't know any other place that I've returned to so many times over the years, whether it's as a staff person, a supporter, an adult ally, a contractor. I mean, so many things continue pulling me back to Powerful Voices. And here I am to stay. I don't know any other place where a group of people can show up on the Zoom call in matching outfits. Unplanned, this does happen quite often, and I love it. And there are very few places where I can express those parts of myself where I feel most at home, inviting my Blackness to take space at the helm of a vision I trust and believe in, feeling at home as a non-binary person while kikiing with fierce femmes. That's a true home, a home that you can return to. And this is, in this year of 2020, by far the most challenging year of many of our lives, a home you can return to is more valuable than gold. It's not just a matter of being housed, being responsible stewards of this earth we call home, as the first peoples of this land know better than most. Coming home is about feeling at home with who you are and not being shamed into leaving those most precious and inspirational parts of who you are at the front door. Coming home can be a traumatic journey through loss and grief for so many whose homes are no longer safe. For many of the Black and brown girls we serve at Powerful Voices, home is sometimes there, sometimes not. But it's always here in the ways that we create home together. Because we want Powerful Voices to always be here as a place these youth can return to and feel at home. So what is homecoming? Why does this theme matter more now than ever? Some might say it's a high school dance full of teen drama stereotypes and gendered expectations. Some might immediately think of one legendary Coachella performance by none other than Beyonce, bringing the magic of HBCU traditions literally center stage. And some might think of the act of returning home to a place that feels safe, that feels comforting, familiar, and abundant. But I really want us to take the time to explore what this means to us in this moment. But most importantly, what does this mean to the Black and brown girls who call Powerful Voices home? My intuition rarely leads me down a path of tradition. Folks who know me know that. So this will not be a traditional keynote. When I was contemplating what the focus of my keynote should be and feeling this tension between what homecoming used to mean and what it means now in this new normal of social distancing and what feels like extreme isolation for many people, I kept returning to this question of why homecoming matters and specifically why it matters to Black and brown girls today, especially. So now I'm inviting y'all to take a moment and think about this question, because what you're gonna do next is talk about it amongst yourselves in small groups. Yes, I'm a facilitator. So this was the plot twist that I hinted at earlier. So y'all are gonna be part of this keynote, hey. So before we move forward, I just wanna clarify one thing. This is kind of a little Powerful Voices trivia moment. And you can put your answers in the comments. Who do we mean when we say girl? Who are we talking about? So let's see some answers in the comments real quick. When we say girl at Powerful Voices, who are we talking about? Yes, people know. Exactly. A girl is anyone who identifies as one. That's what we mean. So thank you, awesome. Thanks for playing that little trivia game with me. So now we're gonna get y'all into small groups to discuss the question I posed earlier, which is what is homecoming and why does it matter to Black and brown girls? If our chat moderator wouldn't, oh, thank you, Jordan, you were just on it. Okay, great. So the steps that we're gonna take is we're gonna go into our breakout groups. You'll have about 5 minutes to discuss amongst yourselves. And then we'll bring you back. We'll give you about a 60-second warning. We'll bring you back to the large group and just share out some highlights of what you learned in your conversations. Sound good? All right, so whenever we're ready, we can go into our breakouts.
Telling these tears going fall away, fall away. Oh, may the last one burn. Freedom, freedom, I can't move. Freedom, cut me loose, yeah. Freedom, freedom, where are you? 'Cause I need freedom too. I break chains all by myself. Won't let my freedom rot in hell. Hey, I'ma keep it running 'cause a winner don't quit on themselves. What you want from me? Is it true? You see, I'm trying to get in there. What you want from me? Is it true? You see, I'm trying to get in there. What you want from me? Is it true? You see, I'm trying to get in there. What you want from me? Is it true? You see, I'm trying to get in there.
Brown skin girl, your skin just like pearl. Pretty brown skin girl, your skin just like pearl. It's the best thing in the world. I never trade you for anybody else singing.
She says she really grew up poor like me. Don't believe in nothing but the Almighty. Just a little jeans and a pure whitey. She never dreamed forever be nobody wifey. Yeah. She well, I mean, a pretty but your heart is a mess. Play you like a villain 'cause she caught in a way. Tonight I am walking away. 9 to 5 mine and I grind. Yeah. Tonight I might fall in love, depending on how you hold me. I'm glad that I'm calming down. Can't let no one come control me. Keep dancing and call it love. She fights it by falling slowly. If ever you are in doubt, remember what mama told me. Brown skin girl, your skin just like pearls. You're back against the world. I never trade you for anybody else. A brown skin girl, your skin just like pearls. The best thing in the world. I never trade you for anybody else.
Pose like a trophy when Naomi's walking. She need an Oscar for that pretty dark skin. Pretty like Lupita when the camera's closing. Drip broke the levee when my Kelly's rolling. I think tonight she might braid her braids. Melanin too dark to throw her shade. She minds her business and winds her waist. Go like 24K. Okay.
Tonight I might fall in love, depending on how you hold me. I'm glad that I'm calming down. Can't let no one come control me. Keep dancing and call it love. She fighting but falling slowly. If ever you are in doubt, remember what mama told me. Brown skin girl, your skin just like pearls. You're back against the world. I never tried you for anybody else. A brown skin girl, your skin just like pearls. The best thing in the world. I never tried you for anybody else.
Oh, have you looked in the mirror lately? Wish you could trade eyes with me. 'Cause there's complexities in complexion, but your skin is glow like diamonds. Dig me like the earth, you be giving back to everything alive, baby, know your worth. I love everything about you, from your nappy curls to every single curve, your body natural. Same skin that was broken, be the same skin taking over. Most things out of focus view, but when you're in the room, they notice you. 'Cause you're beautiful. Yeah, you're beautiful. Them gon' fall in love with you in all of your glory. Your skin is not only dark, it shines and it tells your story. Keep dancing, they can't control you. They watch and they all adore you. If ever you are in doubt, remember what mama told you.
Brown skin girl, your skin just like pearls. You're back against the world. I never tried you for anybody else. Say brown skin girl, your skin just like pearls. The best thing in the world. I never tried you for anybody else.
Skin girl, your skin just like pearls. Best thing in the world. I never trade you for anybody else singing.
Awesome. So we may still be having folks join us from the breakouts, looks like. Okay, great. Excellent. So I hope that y'all had some great conversations in your breakout groups. I just want to read a couple from the comments from my group, for those of us who stayed in the main group. I had shared that homecoming is feeling secure in yourself and your place in community. This helps us thrive. When Black and Brown girls don't have this available to them, such as those in youth and foster care, it can create even more barriers for them. And Aisha shared, homecoming is returning to yourself, to your core values. It's grounding in who you are and sharing that with your communities. Awesome. All right, so let's just hear a few highlights from folks' groups. You can use the raise hand feature if you like. Maybe our moderators can help kind of call out some folks who want to share. Come on, shy people.
I'll be super quick, but to me, from my group, and then adding my own perspective as an immigrant to the United States, going home for me does not happen often. It's at the most once a year to see my sisters and my mother and everybody else. To me, it's not only a safe place, but it's a place that I don't have to explain myself, and I can pick up where I left off. And I don't have to explain, a lot. I mean, I can catch you up in 2 minutes, even though I see you once a year, because we have that base and it's very safe.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing and kicking us off. And then I see a comment in the chat. Our group shared that homecoming is where you can share your living story, your journey in a space where you feel most safe, most visible, and most you. Yes, to all three of those things. Absolutely. All right. How about a couple other folks?
Yes. Hi, Chimera's Ebony. In my small group, we had a couple similar themes of a space where we can feel safe, a space where we feel like others have our back. We feel it and we identify that ourselves versus someone else identifying that for us, and being able to be accepted for who we are.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing. So I hear a lot about acceptance and being able to be your full self, not having to explain yourself, and also people having your back, knowing that you're not going to have to go through things alone. I think that sentiment right there is like so relevant to what we're going through right now in societies across the world. Is this feeling of, as we're in this social isolation and trying to navigate, how do we stay connected to each other? How do we maintain that sense of community and that sense of belonging, even as we're having to literally physically distance ourselves from each other? And our young people are experiencing this as well in a lot of ways. And so that's why I wanted to bring up this conversation to kind of like help people embody why it's so important that we do this work and that we show up in the ways that we do. Because what we're feeling, what we're trying to counter in this pandemic, and this what we're facing with this election, who knows what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. There's a lot of things on people's plates, on our minds, on our hearts, and maintaining a sense of home. Again, not just thinking of a physical home, but that what makes a home to us that we can return to, that's worth returning to. Being able to maintain that is so important right now. So let's see, in the comments, homecoming is company, connectedness, a sense of belonging, and the opportunity for new discovery. Yes, opportunity for new discovery. I love that. Let's see. Homecoming is abandoning what's been assigned to you and claiming what you know is home to you. Ooh, now that's real. That goes real deep. I mean, that gets under the skin right there, especially as a non-binary person. I understand that very well. Home feeds you, restores you, fills your spirit, builds you up, makes you strong, helps others, all of those things. Yes. Yes, and PV is all these things for Black and brown girls. Thank you. Home is opening up to your dreams and getting advice, but not put downs. Absolutely. Don't yuck anybody's yum. Abandoning what's been assigned to you. Yes, I just want to echo that again. This is amazing. Thank you so much, y'all, for engaging in these conversations. Do keep adding things into the chat. And, I hope that you all just kind of take that in and really sit with these comments that folks are sharing. I really appreciate y'all taking part in the breakout groups and having these conversations. These are very important conversations. And I hope that you continue to explore these kinds of questions with people in your life. So not just when you're in a space like this that's being curated to have these discussions, but take this out of this space and truly embody it and talk to your friends, your family, your coworkers, people that you're waiting, for the bus next to or whatever. Like continue bringing these things up so that it doesn't just fade away, because we need to continue to keep it relevant. So my keynote, 2020 has not been a normal year really for anybody, but when have we ever really had a normal year, depending on who you're talking about and what perspective you're holding. I can't really say that I've ever lived a normal year when we're living within a society where there's so much oppression. And for me, that will never be normal, which is why I do the work that I do. And this year especially has forced us to slow down and take a beat and look at ourselves as, individuals, but also as a society. We're in the midst of a great reckoning for racial and economic justice, as well as a process of reclamation for those of us who were stolen from our lands and those of us whose lands were stolen from them. And we still have so much further to go to truly elevate what many are calling right now a revolution, to actually become an intersectional movement for justice that benefits all, not just a core group of people who tend to be the most visible in these movements, but think about our trans, BIPOC family, think about our undocumented family, and so on and so forth, and really go deeper when it comes to who is represented in this revolution. Powerful Voices has been immersed in a process of reflection and transformation for quite a while, and that's intentional. We took the time and the space to do this. We scaled back our programming this year to focus on what our youth needed most, which was a space to connect and gain skills to address the mental health concerns that they had for themselves, their friends, and their loved ones. In May, we provided over 40 young folks with really awesome self-care kits that our programs team put together called Powerful Packets, containing pandemic survival items and a booklet with reflection prompts to help young folks cope with the isolation that they were experiencing. In June, we launched a brand new program called Care for You, which is an 8-week summer program that featured a women of color therapist panel and resilience practices that participants are still practicing to this day. These programs are born out of the needs and desires of the youth that we serve, and so will our future programs. We don't do this just because it's trending. Oftentimes, we'll do things that aren't trending, but we do it because it's needed. We do it because it's necessary, whether or not other people accept it. If it's what our young folks say that they need, we're going to do it. And we're going to continue to push through the challenges no matter what. So this is where you all come in. This year has been extremely challenging for a lot of us, especially, small nonprofits like ourselves. But we're meeting these challenges with creativity, with bravery, and with realness. So we need your support to make the vision that our programs team shared with you earlier, to really be able to take that the rest of the way. And lastly, in closing, in the words of the previous speaker and a beloved member of our board, Morgan, fund us like you want us to win. Thank you.
Let's unmute and clap for Chimera. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. Chimera, I am so blown away. I know we've crossed paths over the years at Powerful Voices, and it's amazing to share the virtual stage with you. It was so impactful to hear some of your story and your revolutionary plans for Powerful Voices.
Yes, I completely agree. I'm so excited for Powerful Voices to grow with your leadership, Chimera. Thank you. for your speech, and it was absolutely amazing.
So with that, we'll be moving into our last performance of the luncheon, Maya Roundtree. So Maya has been writing poetry since the 1st grade and performing it since the 6th. It was her older brother, Carlos, who first inspired her to write, because when with him, she never felt excluded and always felt big. That soon led her to write about topics such as activism, romance, and self-love. While attending Lake Washington Girls Middle School, Maya realized her passion for activism, which led her to Powerful Voices. In the fall of 2018, Maya first joined the Powerful Voices program, Activistas. During Activistas, Maya and other participants worked on social justice topics and applied them to presentations. Maya currently is a sophomore at Franklin High School and enjoys writing, sewing, and being an instrument of service to those in her community. Without further ado, here is Maya.
She puts their pictures in jars. With no intentions of capturing, she just wants them to see her way of living, her way of life, the way her love casts spells on those around her. She says, make them sweeter with sweet jars. Fill them up to the rim if needed, for they can experience the sweet sensations of love. We'll add a label, name it Handle with Love, rearrange the image, sticking and tacking until picture perfect. We'll start with Grandfather Kent. He's probably lonely up there, so we'll tape Sister Shay next to him, where they won't be alone anymore. Listen, she says. Allow them to receive. Adding an abundance of actuality to intertwine with their reality, because though we're not standing there and they're not here, we still share the same breath. Allow them to breathe in, breathe out, until their lungs are full of honey and their hearts are full of love. Hi, my name's Maya. I use she, her pronouns, and what makes Powerful Voices home to me is the sense of community, and whenever I'm here, there's always a big welcome, whether you already know somebody or not.
Can we all unmute and give Maya a round of applause?
Thank you, Maya. Beautiful, Maya.
Oh, thank you guys. I really appreciate the support. I just want to say, Maya, that was amazing. We go to the same school, so and we're on the same dance team. So I just want to say Maya is truly an amazing person. Inside and out, she is one of the kindest people I've ever met, honestly. And I just wanted to say thank you for being here and performing. And that was amazing.
Absolutely. Maya, you were an amazing way to close out this event. And on behalf of everyone watching, I'd like to thank all of the performers. It's been so incredible to have you here, to have the opportunity to witness your power. We're so lucky that you decided to share with us today. Kisan, you're muted.
Kisan, you're muted.
I'm sorry, I did not know that. Thank you to our staff, our board members, our friends, and our community members. We are so honored to be in the community with you all, and thank you to my co-MC, Sefriana. It's been so great to share this event with you.
It's been wonderful to co-MC with you as well. Great to meet you and prepare for this day. It's been an amazing luncheon to be a part of. So we'll be closing out our program now, but thank you for making it possible for us to co-create brave community spaces with young girls of color. So to help us reach our goal of raising $100,000, please visit our luncheon page. The link is in the chat. If you haven't visited yet, now's the time. You can visit it again if you want. So thank you all for being here.
And I just want to show some love for our amazing co-MCs, Kisan and Zefriana. Thank you so much. Can everyone just unmute for them right now and give them a round of applause?
Yay! Amazing.
Thank you. Y'all are honestly like naturals at this. And I just love the way that you wove together this story that we're telling today. So thank you so much.
Thanks, y'all, for joining us. We'll end our program with a short virtual dance party. If y'all would like to join, I'll cue up some music. If y'all want to share some moves with us, feel free. And if you want to stick around and vibe with us or head on out, thank you so much for joining.
I need sincerity. I gotta know, I ain't too sure. Somebody tell me, how does it feel to be loved? Yeah. Oh yeah, I just wanna know, yeah. I just gotta know, yeah. How does it feel? How does it feel to be loved? Oh my, oh my. We got love, love, love. You better believe it. We got love, love, love. You better believe it.
I got house in the carriage, yeah. I got black love and marriage, yeah. They gon' say you can't have it, but I'm like, don't kill the messenger. We gon' break the stigma up. Who's turn to Obamas? It ain't about where you been, where you from, what you got. It's all about love. Self-love is the best love. When you go take that wristband off, that petite party bent over. Don't need makeup to dress you up. I gave birth on the bathroom floor. Just me, Iman, and headphone calls. Don't let this life defeat you. I hope this message reach you. Throw your hands up. Play catch with the hundreds. Love is the new money. I'm just chilling with the homies. Homies where the heart is. Throw your hands up. Play catch with the hundreds. Love is the new money. I'm just chilling with the homies. Homies where the heart is.
Love, love, love. You better believe it. We got love, love, love. You better believe it.
I live in abundance. Love is the new money. I'm mentally wealthy, spiritually conscious. I'm fresh out of honest. I'm ballin', I play with the hundreds. Love is the new money. That's my frequency. Spark up, burn the sage. Clear the room, kill the hate. Love is the new wave. Play catch with the hundreds. Love is the new money. I'm just chillin' with the homies. Homies where the heart is. Play catch with the hundreds. Love is the new money. I'm just chillin' with the homies. Homies where the heart is.
Love, love, love. You better believe it. We got love, love, love. You better believe it. We got love, love, love. You better believe it. We got love, love, love. You better believe it.
Play catch with the hundreds. Love is the new money.